and welcome to beautiful UHAS McGinley Stadium in Penn Hills as we have Roxmore Sports Network live coverage of the football division as we'll see the visiting Woodland Hills Wolverines take on the home team, the Penn Hills Indians. Hi again, everyone. I'm Ty Polk. He's Craig Thomas. Great to be with you. We are your front row seat for this game on the Roxmore Sports Network. And Craig, as we all know, there will be no fans for this game tonight. It's due to unfortunate circumstances of violence in the community. That's why the Penn Hills Superintendent Nancy Hines decided that this game will have no fans in attendance. The only fans we really have are a couple police officers and some special guests as well.
Yes, absolutely. We definitely want to bring light to that, but we will talk to one of the community activists and one of our fellow alumni from Woodland Hills in a few minutes. But once we get back to that, we'll talk briefly about the game for tonight, though. Backyard rivalry should be a great football game. It would have been a great atmosphere with the kids and with the rivalry with schools so closely separated, about maybe four miles apart for the schools. But this is a great rivalry, a great one to be a part of, especially when you can have the fans here. And it's unfortunate that the kids have to be affected by what's going on in the community. But Coach LaDon comes in, not really having a tough season this year, 0-2 so far. Had some tough games, lost last week to Gateway, but also has, struggled after he won a championship a couple years ago. So we'll see if he can get his crew right back on the right track and try to get out here against the Wolverines and get a victory.
I talked to Coach LaDon a little bit before while I was down on the field, and he's still excited about this group. It's a young-ish group. They're led by a sophomore quarterback, and, of course, they played two very tough games. Yes, you can look at the scores and go, Penn Hills had 20 points offensively and allowed 89 points defensively, but those were top-tier teams. Central Catholic, a 6A power. You've seen that game against Emotep on Roxmore Sports Network, and then the next week, Central Catholic beat Gateway, and Penn Hills had the unfortunate circumstances of having to follow up with them. Two teams that were looking to get back on track, but both of these teams come in tonight losers of their last two. Woodland Hills, they won in the Western PA versus Everybody Showcase against Wayne Valley of New Jersey, and now they came in with two straight losses. But this is a great chance for both of these teams to get back on track tonight.
Absolutely. Woodland Hills had an opportunity against McKeesport to win that game. Came up just short, 7-6. And then last week they had a great game in the first three quarters, but things kind of fell a little bit off the track here in the third and fourth quarter, and they end up coming out on the short end. But it's an opportunity as these young men have an opportunity to come out and showcase their talents. Unfortunately, not in front of a great live stadium, but in front of you at home, and we will definitely bring you the great call of the game, and hopefully you enjoy the action with us tonight.
Yes, Woodland Hills looking to get back on the offensive stride. They have not registered a point offensively in the last 50 minutes and 32 seconds of total game time since Deontay Williams scored on a 57-yard touchdown run on 4th and 2 in the fourth quarter against McKeesport to make that game 7-6.
Right, and last game Gateway defeated Penn Hills 41-13. And it was the first regular season matchup for them since 2011. So once there's been a realignment for all of these teams in this conference, used to be the Big East Conference, to play each other. They realigned this conference, and now the rivalries are on again. So the kids in the community, the local communities, get an opportunity to play against each other and see their friends and get bragging rights in these games. And it's really a great rivalry.
And yes, last year's game, much like tonight's game, played with no fans in attendance, but that was due to a different public health matter, the COVID-19 pandemic, where Woodland Hills won that game 26-7, and Deontay Williams, like you always said, was Superman that night. 183 yards racked up out of the total 261 yards of offense from the Wolverines. It's going to be so important for Deontay to get back on track in this game, but also get the rest of his offensive stablemates together. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we'll take a commercial break. We'll be right back on the Roxmore Sports Network. Welcome back to Roxmore Sports Network's coverage of the NLG 7-on-7 tournament, Southern New Jersey. I'm here with the Evolve Elites head coach, Von Madden. And Von, Your team went 3-1 in the group stage, and also they won their first round playoff game. How are you feeling about the team's play so far?
The team's play so far, I'm not satisfied. We gave up 22 points on defense. We got to figure out, the best chemistry with the team. So we still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, but for the most part, the defense has been there, especially whenever the offense has a few slips-ups. So what are you looking for? What have you seen good out of this defense so far?
The defense, they're really communicating a lot, and that's picked up from last tournament. We've really been practicing, making sure that the players understand the coverages. So they definitely have been stepping it up.
And in your last tournament in Conshohocken, you guys went to the third round, almost before the quarterfinals. How are you feeling about your chances this tournament?
I think we'll get to the championship. I really do. I think the team that we got, a lot of the practices, and this is, going into our third tournament, I think we'll be ready to get to the finals.
And you told me about Ty McGowan, who was slinging it over there against Slime U. Just talk about his performance in this tournament as well.
His performance is amazing, man. He put up 33 points. He completed all of his extra points and things like that. He was real poised. He don't show no emotion, and he just, slanging that thing.
Yeah, and you guys, I noticed that there's one thing you've been doing is going for a lot of twos. I mean, what has been the change? Because in a lot of these other tournaments, you guys went for ones, and it didn't exactly work out for you sometimes.
Offensively, sometimes going from the one point is at the 3-yard line, and, it changes the route combination. So going for the two, they push us back. So we got 20 yards to work with instead of, 8 yards.
All right, so you're about to go on to your second round action. Your team's about to get out there. Any last words of what you're expecting out of this team?
W.
Absolutely. We'll be looking to see that on the Roxmore Sports Network. Vaughn, thanks for the interview, man. So I'm with the player to gain defensively for Evolve 2 attempts, Lamont Payne Jr. And Lamont, you made that big stop on the defensive end. Just talk about how important it was to make that stop.
Really important, got to get our team off the field, comes out of crunch time, you got to, be patient, have focus, just, stop plays like that. Big plays, big players make big plays, and that was just one of those plays.
Absolutely, and your team, well, early on it seemed like it was dire straits, but then just talk about how important your offense has been, because you guys have made most of the stops, but sometimes you go against tough teams like the Game Changers, and they're able to make the plays that keep you guys in the game.
Our offense did a great job, being down, the points we were, our offense tapped in, do what they had to do. It gave us momentum for our defense to get on the field and do what we had to do.
And I assume that's your dad, correct? Or? Yes, he said you had 5 offers. What are those schools?
Penn State, Rutgers, West Virginia, Kent State, and WVU.
Well, as you know, our director over there is a Penn State alum, so it is in good company. But just talk about 7-on-7 football, and how has that gotten you exposure out here? Because it's a different game.
It definitely is, you got the best of the best out here, all different types of teams, from everywhere around the country. So, iron sharpens iron. It's just one of those things, it helps you all around, everyone else.
And you guys are moving deep into a tournament for the second tournament in a row. How does it feel to, well, in a way, survive and advance? That last play was really close.
It feels amazing, but we're not done yet. We still got things to do, still got teams to beat, so, never satisfied. So we just got to keep doing what we're doing.
Well, Lamont, we'll see you on Field 4 later today. Thank you. And now I'm with Robert Dickerson, who made the game-winning catch for Evolve. And, Robert, you guys were down a little bit earlier. Just how did it feel to, come back, especially on that one shot, one play from Ty McGowan?
Yeah, we were fighting hard, but we were having an off day the last game, so we just wanted to come back and play good. So, yeah.
An off day, 32-22. That's what's an off day. I mean,
22 points is a lot for our defense to let up, so we can have that going on again. So, yeah.
So what are you looking for out of this next game against your opponents? Right now, we're still waiting to figure out who that is.
Just play smart. Don't really get into it. Just play our game and do our game, do the talking for us.
And you're primarily a receiver out in high school?
Yeah, but I'll probably be playing defense at college.
Well, how does it feel to get an opportunity to show off your skills offensively in 7-on-7?
It feels good because, offense has been my first love, so that's what I want to stick to. But whatever college likes me at is free education, so it doesn't matter to me.
That's all that matters, man. So, Robert, good luck in the next game. Congratulations on the win. And pregame show action here on the Roxmore Sports Network as we welcome you back. I'm Ty Polk, and I'm glad to be joined with Devin Whitlock of Bell Vernon High School. Devin, nice game against PA Elite.
Yeah, It was all right. You know, they just try to get me the ball coming out the backfield in open space. You know, I can use my elusiveness and, you know, just beat everybody with my speed.
It's really impressive, especially in 7-on-7 football, which is effectively touched. I mean, you really had guys just reaching for air out there. Like, how can you practice elusiveness, or is it just something that you're just born with?
It's something you're born with, and it's something you can practice with, you know, working on agility, legs, hips, you know, just getting faster every day. That helps a lot, and I think that's what helps me, you know, get faster.
And talk about, like, your high school career with Bell Vernon. I mean, how's that team going out there? Not a lot of people know about what's going on in Bell Vernon. Of course, we primarily broadcast Woodland Hills.
Yeah, it's going good. You know, we make it to the semis, if not the WPIAL, every year. You know, and I think this year we'll be a team to look out for to be winning WPIALs and states.
And one interesting thing is that on the tournament director, Ed O'Brien, said that you were one of the players to look out for. Just how does it feel just so early on in your career to get recognition from really a tournament director?
Well, you know, it means everything to me, and I appreciate it so much. You know, this is my first 7-on-7 tournament I ever came to, so just getting that recognition is great, and yeah, I mean, I gotta love it, you know.
You're enjoying it, man. You're just making people miss out there.
Yes, sir. Just having fun out here.
Any colleges looking at you so far, or you know, you trying to just use this as an opportunity to springboard?
Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. Looking for this. Yeah, I mean, to open up a couple colleges' eyes, maybe see what I could do.
Well, if you keep on making a miss like that, you're certainly on your way. Just talk about what you're looking for in the next 2 games, and of course, whenever you get in the playoff play.
You know, at least 2 touchdowns each, and maybe touching a little defense, seeing how we go on there.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to you, and thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
And welcome back to the Roxmore Sports Network halftime show. I'm Ty Polk with Stan Becton. The score right now, Clarendon 14, the Hill District nothing. And really the story of this game has been penalties for the Hill District. A few, 3 exactly, first downs via 5-yard penalties for offsides, and really that's been the difference for them, because Clarendon has been able to get some long drives, and that got their first touchdown. Then, of course, a little bit of a miscalculation there by the punt team there as it hit off the back of a player from the Hill District and managed to score it away, and then Clarendon recovered and scored it. So it's really just been a series of unfortunate and really unforced errors for the Hill District today.
Yeah, and talking about penalties, we have to acknowledge the biggest penalty for the Hill District, wiping off a defensive touchdown. A ball was batted in the air, picked off, taken into the end zone, but a penalty, as soon as the interception happened, took that play back to the 20-yard line. So they had a 1st and 10 from the 20, where the Hill District team just unable to score from the red zone. So that really, the penalties really was what bit them in the foot.
Yeah, right now, at least with Clarendon, of course, they've had a few. They had a first down on a 4th and 9 there on a pass play. And the Hill District also, they did try to pass on their 4th down as well. It was unsuccessful. So it's been a tale of 2 cities by both these 2 teams right now. And we've seen them at their best on this network. But, of course, today it's really just been a little one-sided with some opportunities to get back in the game for Hill District, but they haven't been capitalized on.
Yeah, they haven't capitalized on their opportunities, but the Bears have capitalized on theirs. Clarendon has been led by number 30, Drasir Jones, running the rock. He's able to make plays in the backfield when the defenders are able to penetrate. He's able to make something out of nothing. Always seems like he's getting positive yardage, Ty.
Ryan, congratulations on the victory. And let's just talk about this moon running attack. Really, your 2 touchdowns came out of that sledge offense, though you showed interesting formats to it. You had Slava there, and then on 1 touchdown, Dean was also there. Just talk about the differences you have, just giving them different looks.
So the whole concept behind that is for us to get our our guys the ball in our hands right now. And we feel we've had success with that offense. We've had big offensive linemen. We had some fullbacks that we could use to move the ball. So we get in those short yardage situations, or we get a turnover like we did down there, we try to just let's just try to punch it in. And Dylan's that hammer that just goes downhill, and then Jeremiah can make some stuff happen inside and outside. So that's our way of just getting our guys the ball in our hands right now.
And Ryan, 5 times your defense ended up in the 20 of Woodland Hills, and all 5 times they stymied them. Just talk about, especially in that last one, just talk about what you said to your defense every time they go out on the field.
Our defense coordinator, Shane Newhouse, does a great job with those guys, and those kids are just relentless. Starts up front with Ben Bladel, and, then Jake Baumgartner really is a force inside. Mm-hmm. But then, like tonight, Joe Cotton, who hasn't played much, stepped up and placed Dante Docio. Then, Dylan Sleeve is just a grown man out there.
Absolutely.
So those guys just, want to make their defense is top notch. And I think tonight, they showed it in those situations. They buckled down and made plays, and it was huge for us because you said 5 times down in the red zone, 1 or 2 of those, it's a different ball game right now.
Ty, a great game.
Yeah, just a fantastic game. You wanted defense, you got it. A safety, but of course Dante Wright, 2 interceptions, both off of jump balls. Just a tremendous performance by him today.
Yeah, great performance there. Great performance offensively, running the ball as well.
Yeah, but also you have to give a shout out to the Hill District because it's just sometimes these things happen, which they performed pretty well there. It just wasn't enough against Clarendon today. It's just a few things that were just a little bit unlucky. Penalties, and also really just they had 1 touchdown, that interception return, but it was called back due to a penalty. So it's just one thing they'll want to clean up for the next season is penalties.
Yeah, that'll be something they have to work on, and something they'll probably be talking about in the locker room right now.
And we'll go back to Craig Thomas. He's up in the stands with the Clarendon fans. Craig, they're going to be so excited about the next week, and we're very excited as well, as we will have the state championship games out in Philadelphia. Be sure to check out. It's going to be a Roxamore exclusive event, and we'll have some more information about that. You'll have to buy a virtual ticket for this event. Go to roxamoresports.com for more information, and be sure to check it out. I'm certainly going to be on the road to Philadelphia, and who knows, maybe you'll come with me, maybe Craig will come with me. Regardless, it's going to be a great time out there to see the best in Western Pennsylvania do their thing against some of the best from Eastern Pennsylvania.
Yeah, always great when you can have the state on the line. You heard Dante Wright say that he wants this state title, that they run the state. So we'll get to see it next week. Midget football, all levels of football in Philadelphia.
Yeah, the high school team runs the state as well. They've been some of the best out there, and we'll see names like Dante Wright in the future performing for the high school team as well, so stay tuned for that name. But again, that's all for us here today. This is a Roxamore Sports Network telecast. All rights are reserved to the CEO and executive producer, Leon Rocky Moore. For more information, go to roxamoresports.com. Replays of this broadcast are available online and on demand from YouTube, Facebook, Roku TV, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and Fire TV, and also the Roxamore Events app. Be sure to download it. It's the best price in the world. Free, 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 free. Our final score from Cupples Stadium on the south side is the Clarendon Bears Midget Team 14 and the Hill District Rebels 2. For my broadcast partner, Stan Becton, and for Craig Thomas, and for the rest of the Roxamore Sports Network crew, I'm Ty Polk saying good day, good afternoon from Cupples Stadium.